There is a deficiency affecting approximately 1 billion people on this planet. It does not cause a rash. It does not cause obvious pain. Most people who have it feel nothing unusual at all. And yet research published in peer-reviewed journals has linked it to weakened immunity, increased depression risk, bone loss, cognitive decline, higher risk of certain cancers, and greater severity of respiratory infections. The deficiency is vitamin D, and the reason most people do not know they have it is simple. Your body gives you almost no signal that it is missing. Today I am going to explain what vitamin D actually does in your body, why so many people are running on dangerously low levels without knowing it, what the research shows about the health consequences of long-term deficiency, and most importantly, exactly how to test your levels, what the numbers mean, and what to do if you are deficient. Every claim in this video is sourced from reputable medical organizations, peer-reviewed journals, and the latest clinical practice guidelines. All sources are listed in the description. Let us start with the numbers, because they are staggering. Vitamin D deficiency is a global public health issue affecting approximately 1 billion people worldwide. Nearly half of some populations experience vitamin D insufficiency. The highest prevalence is found among older adults, individuals with obesity, nursing home residents, and people living at higher latitudes where UVB exposure is limited throughout the year. In the United States alone, about 1 in 4 adults has a vitamin D level below the threshold for deficiency. The numbers in Northern Europe, Canada, and countries closer to the poles are even higher. Before we go further, vitamin D is one of the most misunderstood nutrients in medicine. Understanding what it actually is changes how you think about why deficiency is so serious. Vitamin D is not technically a vitamin. A vitamin is a nutrient your body cannot produce, so it must come from food. Vitamin D is different. Your skin produces it naturally when exposed to UVB radiation from sunlight. That makes it a prohormone, a precursor to a hormone. Like other hormones, vitamin D influences biological processes throughout nearly every system in your body. Vitamin D receptors have been found in virtually every tissue and organ. This is why deficiency affects so many systems at once. Your immune cells need it to function effectively. Your brain uses it to support serotonin production and neural function. Your bones depend on it for calcium absorption. Your cardiovascular system relies on it for arterial health. Your muscles require it for strength and coordination. If sunlight is all you need to produce vitamin D, why are 1 billion people deficient? There are 5 overlapping reasons, and most people are affected by at least 2 or 3 of them. The first reason is that we spend most of our lives indoors. The modern person spends around 90% of their time inside. Office work, screen time, commuting, and shopping all reduce our exposure to direct sunlight, and the UVB radiation needed to produce vitamin D does not pass through glass. Sitting beside a sunny window does not help. Your skin needs direct outdoor exposure. The second reason is sunscreen. Sunscreen with SPF 30 can reduce vitamin D production by up to 95 to 98%. While sunscreen is essential for reducing skin cancer risk, widespread use has also contributed to lower vitamin D production. This is not an argument against sunscreen. It is simply a reason to be aware of your vitamin D status. The third reason is where you live. If you live above approximately 35 degrees latitude, including much of the United States, all of Canada, the United Kingdom, most of Europe, and parts of Russia, China, and Japan, you receive little to no UVB radiation during the winter months. Even on bright sunny days, the sun sits too low in the sky for your body to produce meaningful amounts of vitamin D. The fourth reason is skin tone. Melanin, the pigment responsible for darker skin, naturally blocks some UV radiation. As a result, people with darker skin require significantly more sunlight to produce the same amount of vitamin D as those with lighter skin. The fifth reason is age. As we grow older, our skin becomes much less efficient at producing vitamin D. A 70-year-old, exposed to the same amount of sunlight as a 20-year-old, may produce roughly 75% less vitamin D. That is one reason deficiency is especially common among older adults. Now let us look at what long-term vitamin D deficiency can do to your body. Studies have shown associations between vitamin D deficiency and cancer, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, autoimmune disorders, and depression. Let us start with your bones. Vitamin D is essential for calcium absorption. Without enough vitamin D, your intestines cannot absorb calcium efficiently from the food you eat, regardless of how much calcium your diet contains. Over time, this can lead to bone demineralization, osteoporosis, increased fracture risk, and in severe cases, osteomalacia, a softening of the bones that causes deep bone pain and muscle weakness. Vitamin D also plays a direct role in regulating both the innate and adaptive immune systems. Immune cells, including T cells, B cells, and macrophages, all depend on vitamin D. When vitamin D levels are adequate, it helps regulate inflammation and supports the production of antimicrobial peptides that form one of your body's first lines of defense against infections. Vitamin D may also influence brain health. Research has linked low vitamin D levels with an increased risk of depression, Alzheimer's disease, and cognitive decline. Scientists believe vitamin D may help regulate serotonin production and support healthy brain function, although research in this area is still ongoing. So what should you do after watching this video? The single most important step is to have your vitamin D level tested. It is a simple and inexpensive blood test. The test you need is called the 25-hydroxyvitamin D test, also written as 25-HD. If your test shows that you are deficient, there are several practical steps you can take. First, choose vitamin D3 rather than vitamin D2. Research has shown that vitamin D3 raises blood vitamin D levels significantly more effectively than vitamin D2, making it the preferred option for most people. Second, your dose should be based on your current vitamin D level and your body weight. The standard recommended daily intake is designed to prevent deficiency in healthy individuals, not to correct an existing deficiency. Research suggests that many adults require between 1,500 and 2,000 international units per day to maintain healthy vitamin D levels, while people with a confirmed deficiency may temporarily require higher doses under medical supervision. Third, take vitamin D with a meal that contains fat. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble nutrient, so your body absorbs it much more effectively when it is taken with food that contains healthy fats. Many experts also recommend taking vitamin K2 alongside vitamin D3. The reasoning is straightforward. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium, while vitamin K2 helps guide that calcium into your bones and teeth instead of allowing it to accumulate in your arteries. Fourth, spend more time outdoors whenever possible. About 15 to 30 minutes of direct sun exposure on your arms and legs between 10 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon can be an effective way to produce vitamin D naturally, provided UVB radiation is available where you live during that season. Finally, retest your vitamin D level after about 3 months. Vitamin D levels change gradually, so it usually takes 2 to 3 months for a new supplementation routine to reach its full effect. A follow-up blood test confirms whether your current dose is working or needs adjustment. One important warning before we finish. Vitamin D toxicity is rare, but it is real. It almost never occurs from sunlight or food. Instead, it results from taking excessive supplemental vitamin D over time. Too much vitamin D can raise calcium levels in the blood, leading to nausea, kidney damage, and in severe cases, serious cardiovascular complications. That is why testing before supplementing and retesting afterward is so important. Let us bring everything together. Vitamin D is not simply another vitamin. It is a pro-hormone that helps regulate biological processes throughout nearly every system in your body. Approximately 1 billion people worldwide are deficient, and most of them have no idea because deficiency often produces no obvious symptoms. The reasons are largely built into modern life. We spend most of our time indoors. We correctly use sunscreen to protect our skin. Many of us live in regions where winter sunlight cannot provide enough UVB radiation. Our skin produces less vitamin D as we age, and very little vitamin D comes from the foods we eat. Long-term deficiency has been linked with weaker bones, increased fracture risk, impaired immune function, more severe respiratory infections, a higher risk of depression, cognitive decline, and several chronic diseases. The next step is simple. Ask your doctor for a 25-hydroxyvitamin D blood test. Know your number. If your level is below the recommended range, discuss a plan that may include vitamin D3 supplementation, taking it with meals that contain fat, considering vitamin K2 if appropriate, spending more time outdoors when possible, and retesting after 3 months. That simple blood test could become one of the most valuable health decisions you make this year. For many people, it reveals a deficiency that has quietly affected their health for years without them ever realizing it. If you found this video helpful, consider sharing it with someone who is always tired, gets sick frequently, or struggles with their mood. Sometimes the answer begins with something as simple as a blood test and the right treatment. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.